meeting the DRC mining ministry to really establish the cooperation with them. And this first ever mining agreement hopefully will result in our first commercial mining operation in Somaliland.
Okay, I think we saw in the briefs that we have about OPU. It is going maybe to cost around $20 million.
Yes.
Yes. But I'm not sure if it is every year or during the startup operation.
No, actually, the contract's about $15 million.
Yeah.
That the government needs money for.
Yeah.
$15 million.
So the OPU has not been established yet.
Not yet. That is something that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Interior.
Yeah.
It's not our, that is something that you need to talk to the Ministry of Interior.
Yeah. Because it's just you need to have them on the field.
We need to have them to
on the field. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's the government is totally
committed.
Totally funding OPU.
That is the responsibility of the government to fund it.
Yeah.
The oil companies would not touch that because they would think they don't want to really have the conflict of interest of having to fund forces that would protect them.
Yeah.
They don't want to really have the insinuation that they are creating their own forces to really protect them.
Okay, now that you have the ARC going to other region back. And
we've been working with these guys for 2 years.
2 years.
This is not really, they're not dropped out of the sky.
Yeah.
We gave them an exploration permit. They went out, they've been working for almost 2 years now to prove something.
Yeah.
And with a lot of effort, now we're at the stage of basically having proven 500,000 tons.
There was another Chinese company. Was it Dongsong?
Dongsong,
yeah.
Those guys basically came and all of a sudden, you said they disappeared.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
I think it has to do with Somalia.
Yeah.
I think they got some pressure.
Yeah.
But they were a big company.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was a political thing.
So you can confirm that Dongsong is no longer operating in?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You can forget about that.
Okay. Now, what about this? We have a lot of course, we know that the OPU is the one that is responsible for having for dragging the feet on having the companies back into the country, which is something very much highly anticipated.
Yeah.
Do you think the forthcoming the planned elections for mid 2015 will have any effect or any impact on your work here?
I think if anything, this would be probably a rallying campaign message for the Khatumo party that we have made tremendous progress in the 5 years, the first term.
Yeah.
And the progress that we have achieved in this country is obvious to those who are sighted. The blind can't see, of course. For our sighted, people that are sighted can see the change. And the next step, 5 years, I think that would probably be a rallying message to say now that we have done a lot of investment in improving the lives of the folks in our country. Now we're even going to get to the next step. We're going to basically develop our natural resources. And the next 5 years, really big message would be we're going to go and really basically establish. We're going to start exporting our natural resources of petroleum and minerals, which will even bring more development and more advancement to the country.
Okay.
I think it will be a positive message campaign message for Khatumo in the coming 5 years.
Okay, what about the last time you had, I think it was ANSA weeks here, when you signed their contract here. And there is this some funds that are paid when such a deal is entered. And there were some arrangements that you announced. I think even we covered that the main batch of those funds will go towards establishing some development projects in the relevant areas, of course with a small percentage of the commission to the ministry. Now what I'm interested is, now it's almost a year since then, and the cash was paid. Has anything been done on the community, on the ground in the community?
Well, here's the thing. The company paid $1.7 million in signature bonus. That money, we basically had nothing to do with it. It went to the treasury. And from the treasury, it was basically decided that they would basically do different things. And so it went to the general budget. And and I think they have done some community work in Bohol area and those areas. I cannot be for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not the one that's really basically controlling how that money is being spent.
Yeah, but what's the treasury?
That money was the treasury.
Okay,
So we really don't really
yeah.
how it all went.
Okay,
but I know there is tremendous effort that's being
going
made by
on
the
there.
government.
Yeah.
2% of the government budget is allocated towards the development of these regions.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of things going on in those
Yeah.
regions.
Okay, what about DNO? Are they still there?
They're there. They're all of them companies are waiting for the OPU.
Yeah.
They're basically saying we get ready to roll. We just need to get this OPU.
Because the DNO the last time they had some teams from, I think it was from Zambia.
No, Kenya.
Kenya.
Yeah.
A Kenyan team.
Yeah.
Doing some water work.
In Hudun. They had a little incident in Hudun.
Yeah.
But Hudun is only a small corner of their block.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they basically plan to start really doing community development programs in the other areas that really have no issues. But all of them, the bottom line is they're waiting for the OPU for work to start.
Okay. I don't know what you can tell me about, we have some secessionist movement called the Khatumo. Why do I have the feeling that Khatumo is exactly where CONOCO, the American oil giant, used to have concessions granted by the regime of Somaliland? Is there any connection?
Well, Khatumo is really a phantom thing, you know. It's a figment of the imagination of this one gentleman, and you probably know who that is. And he's in exile somewhere. He's an American guy, Somaliland, Somali guy, of course. And nobody recognizes. Somalia doesn't recognize what Khartoum is called. Puntland doesn't recognize something called Khatumo, and neither is Somaliland. The claim of Khartoum is basically that they are a state, that basically
A one clan state.
a one clan alliance, and we all know our country, Somaliland, is made up of different clans, including the Mati clan, which are basically true Somalilanders, and they reside in mainly two regions, Sol and Senag. And Sol and Senag region is not Khartoum state. It's a region that is part and parcel of the Republic of Somaliland. And the people that live there can attest to that. So I think this whole Khartoum thing is just a red herring to just confuse the issue and create some kind of concern with all companies that really basically have these blocks. But bottom line is, the folks that are really that are on the ground, that live in these regions, don't really have any sympathy for Khatumo, because Khatumo has nothing but trouble for them.
Over the years.
Over the years. And they basically learn what Khatumo's message is. And people really, at the end of the day, will vote their conscience and will vote for what's best for their future and what's best for their development of their region. Not somebody who's trying to kind of stir up conflicts and violence and war in their region. That does not pay anybody. That does not really raise children. That does not really feed children. That does not really heal the ill people for that to have no access to healthcare. All of those things